guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we finally finished the investigation, the first investigation of Rise from the Ashes, and now we are heading into the trial. We have a lot of evidence, so I'm really hoping that we can, get through this without, too much trouble, although knowing Rise from the Ashes, it's gonna be a lot of trouble, so yeah, let's just get going. I'm also extremely tired today, so sorry for any lack of energy. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there is still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I had to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Except you're not alone. You have a Sky this time, not a Fae. February 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9. The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. I haven't been in court since Edgeworth's trial. It's been a while now. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The Cough-Up Queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before! The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts! I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Oh! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough-Up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, yes. The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with a knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Floor plans added to the court record. Witness, did you say the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give your worst, Miss Starr. Oh, wait, are they talking about me? Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective instincts working. Then, through a wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching! As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed in Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flash wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I think for this one I might just press everything. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Well, I'll stick with the lunch, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level so you can see everything from there. That would be this room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's instincts, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with the experience on the streets, a greenhorn. I of course am hard, yellowed, sharp as a tank. I bet you stink too. In any case, there in the lot I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean...
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was... Well, Mr. Edgeworth, I can't speak. Wasn't it?
Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her.
If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always complain.
Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, Rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me.
I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
A photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over, and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. This is my first time seeing this photograph.
You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Oh, frick.
Uh-oh, and that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying.
Well, I'd say the blade was about 10 centimeters long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg? I mean a person?
Perhaps a chicken salad would have been a better metaphor?
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise a knife to strike, no? The defense is a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
I see.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
Well, let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that!
Alright, I guess... Ooh, oh no. Okay, let's go check out the little piece of evidence that you gave us. Ooh. So she has gloves, she has a coat. She has a scarf around her, and I don't know where that went. She has blood on the coat. The body's an A block. There's like a wire fence, so obviously Angel Star's in B block. Huh. I get the feeling this is the one we're supposed to present, but I'm not sure where we're supposed to present it. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective instincts working, then through a wire fence I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Then the chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Okay, then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Okay. What do I do? What the fuck? Wait, hold on, I'm stuck now. What do I do? What other evidence do we have? I'm so confused. Knife. Anything. Anything at all. Anything that this thing can tell us.
This must be the victim's blood, right?
Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway?
Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild.
Edgeworth? In the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely.
Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman.
Now there's a scary thought. Dude plays chess. Well, heck. Ah. The wire fence was here. You can't see my finger. I was like, the wire fence is here, and I was pointing my finger, and I was like, you can't see my finger. I'm stupid. Anyways, there's a wire fence, and and where she was standing, she could see it, right? Unless she couldn't see it. Unless she couldn't. I don't know. Oh, wait. Why is there a... Oh! Anyways, I did not know that was a thing you could do. I don't know what to do. Alright. Oh my god, I actually got it. Oh my god, I got it. I don't even know what it was. I don't know what the contradiction is. I just presented. Anyways, go me. I'm smart. Okay. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with a knife?
As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph that you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not... Is that really the contradiction here? Is that really the... Is it... Okay, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I didn't think that was the contradiction. I thought of it before. I was like, okay, yeah, no, she's not holding a knife. But she could have already have stabbed the victim. And then Starr took the picture, because she already has blood on her coat. So, like, anyways, moving on. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. Let's be a little more careful with our evidence, shall we? Wait, isn't that Edgeworth's line? Anyways. It is you that needs to be more careful. No, okay, whatever. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. How can you tell that?
Blood spatter. Splatter. Fuck.
Huh?
See the dark crimson stain on the chief prosecutor's coat?
It's a black and white photograph. Oh, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you.
Mr. Wright, are you gonna just sit there and take that kind of abuse?
You got a better idea? Objection? Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony, namely that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime.
Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
That's it?
If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know? Wait a minute. Okay, no, I'm saying it right. Okay, I was about to say. Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ah! Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Rah! The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ugh! Impressive! I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. You've got to be kidding me. What? Oh my lord. I have to present something on that? Oh my lord. Possibly. Could it be because she had to use Edgeworth's knife? Let's go. Let's go. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. Why? Why? The bloody murder weapon, a red car belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, your prosecutor's bad people. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Right. Oh, shit. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned, not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If she wasn't, why would she have... Fuck, I can't read. I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Really. Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge in the knife again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I order pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Man, I could really use some pizza right now. I'm so hungry. I ate breakfast. I just ate like a little bit of Cocoa Puffs and then started my day. I don't really like having much for breakfast, but for some reason my stomach is angry. My stomach is fucking angry. Anyways, I missed the statement I needed to present stuff on. Oopsies. Let's go. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the weapon? I mean, add more wax and it really is a short wick and it'll burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Let's go. Fuck. Fuck! What is wrong with me? It's the last statement. Okay, right here. I remember reading on the autopsy report that it was one knife wound, so let's go for it. Let's go. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk! He's my hero, really.
What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, no, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
I swear. Hold on. Not the attorney's badge. She doesn't have her muffler on. Let's go. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. Fuck you. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. Can you let me have my objection, Edgeworth? And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
Huh?
But that can't be! Only a true professional could be so clueless. I'm sure you'll make a good lunch lady, have no fear. Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver?
But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really.
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, now back to business.
What?
Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. Able to apprehend.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
Note to self, Attorney Wright gets bitten by snake. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum.
Oh, oil drum? Hard to imagine.
Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman.
Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here for right now, and we will cross-examine Angel Starr on this next episode. So, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please remember to leave a like, leave a comment, or maybe even subscribe. I will see you next time.